This episode of Friends in High Places features, along with RVD, a couple of good friends of mine, Dave DeFalco, movie producer, director, writer, distributor.
Indeed, longtime friend of Rob Van Dam.
Director of the most brutal movie in all of history, Chaos. Another good friend of mine, Andrew Bryniarski, actor from many, many movies, including a lot of horror movies like Leatherface. Answering his phone right now. Okay, so topic that I want to talk about today is the responsibility of the violent standards in the entertainment industry and where the responsibility falls. Being a professional wrestler for many, many years, a lot of parents ask me if I think it's too violent for kids to watch. You know, I personally think that's up to parental discretion. I think parents need to teach the kids what is entertainment and what is real. And on TV, you can take several punches to the face and wake up and it's like someone just turned a light out. In real life, you get a cracked face, a broken jaw, cracked orbital, someone like me that hits you. And I think people need to know the difference. If kids want to test themselves and find out what they can really do, they should do it in a controlled environment, such as martial arts.
You know what's scary, Rob?
What's scary?
The war on terror. Fox News, latchkey parents, no extracurricular programs in schools, no money for music programs in schools. That's what's scary. Horror movies are mindless, escapist little fantasy pieces that allow you to go leave your world of terror and sheer horror that we all have to deal with for 90 minutes.
So do you think it's a waste of energy then to
No, it
look
leaves
at...
you exhilarated but yet unscathed. Nobody gets hurt during the horror movie experience. Your adrenaline might rush. You know, you might have all kinds of senses.
You might have nightmares.
You might lose your shit, so to speak. But
I definitely had chaos repeating in my mind for Bruce.
Nobody gets hurt. It's all fun until somebody gets hurt. And I think that the war on terror and basically the Republican Party, those are scary things. And you know, nothing scarier than a fat, bloated, pate-eating Republican.
Well, all I can say, being the creator of a movie that, you know, was perceived as extremely violent, realistic, and brutal, you know, I believe that obviously in the freedom of speech and the freedom to be able to make whatever you want, obviously movies are going to be rated according to the level of brutality and violence that they have. And in some movies like Chaos, I think that you can actually even learn something from them. I mean, a lot of girls came to us after seeing that movie and said that they'd never go off with a stranger again, which is how a lot of these girls end up victims, you know, taking off from parties or going with people they don't know can ultimately end up in a bad situation. So sometimes, you know, a movie like that can actually be beneficial in a weird kind of way.
Yeah, when I watched Chaos, I totally looked at it like a piece of art. There was a couple of scenes that were extremely graphic. Most of the females couldn't watch. Oh, they did a good job.
Because I know there's a Makeover. Extreme Makeover, don't they slice nipples off on that show every day?
Yeah, but this was in the context of an act of violence, not in...
It was. It definitely had a certain feel going into it, you know. And you were in
it's
that
pretty
movie,
ominous.
But when I looked at it, I thought, wow, they did a really good job making that realistic. Good job, because I'm in the sense that I'm watching a movie. And I know you want to escape from reality to really get into it, but still, for me, it seems like it's an easy decision to not cross the lines, you know, and forget.
There's a difference between working with foam latex appliances put on with, you know, what's
what's shit made
gum,
of?
you know, spirit gum. Spirit gum is bullshit and trickery and camera angles is what we do.
Right.
And there's a big difference between using sharp razor, sharp X-Acto blades and shit like that and cutting somebody's nerve endings in their skin and cutting their actual nip off. What we do is bullshit. If it inspires anybody, let it be filmmakers, because it is fun stuff to do for the thrill of the chase. It's fun to make movies with craft. It's fun to make exhilarating movies with story and with pace that are aggressive and lean and make people stand on the edge of their seats. That's the kind of movies I like to make. But it has nothing to do with actually sticking a chainsaw through somebody's intestines and watching their blood run on the ground.
Well, no, especially the ones you do are obviously more fantasy horror and not really based on, you know, realism as much, I think, as like Chaos, which was definitely more...
Did you cut people's nipples off?
Yes.
You actually did? Or did you use Silica and fucking bullshit.
Well, supposedly.
Did you cut anyone's nipples off?
It looks like we did.
It looks like you did. So
Right.
stop fronting. Stop trying to be so tough and relax. It's all fake.
It's all fake.
It's all fake.
Now I'll also say like
Fun shit, but it's fake.
professional wrestling tries also to put that show on and to inspire people to be entertained by an exhibition of fighting skills with athleticism, acrobatic skills. It's still a show, and it is put together, you know, with thoughts and philosophies of telling the story, piquing interest, getting emotion out, and same thing. That's still kids have to realize when they watch that and enjoy it. We're still not telling them this is what you go out and do with your friends. This is not what we go out and do with our friends, you know. I mean, even if I scoop you up and slam you through this table, I wouldn't normally do that. That'd just be for the camera.
We're good friends, RVD and I.
We're good friends.
How do I even comment to that?
Yeah. Do you think you're gonna slam?
Rob
him?
works. Wrestlers, you know, recently until Randy Orton, the legend killer, retired RVD, again, like the number of legends that he's put in the bank. Speaking of Money in the Bank, Mr. Money in the Bank, he used to work 300 days a year. That's way too strenuous for me. That's, you know, 300 days a year of something that's supposed to be fake. Meanwhile, these guys are taking lumps. So try getting beat up 300 days a year, beating somebody up 300 days a year. It'll keep you in shape or it'll really beat you up. So RVD's lucky to be moving on to RVDTV and these other ventures, so he doesn't have to work as hard.
Should kids watch wrestling or should they not? I mean, it's the same thing as should they watch a horror movie or should they watch an action movie? Sure, I was a big fan of action, and violence is a part of action, you know. As far as like extreme action, that is one aspect of it. I grew up being able to make the right decisions, you know, for the most part. I mean, I did some stupid things as a kid.
Look, violence is a part of humanity, so it's going to be shown on film, it's going to be shown in sport, and that's just the way it is. And if people are going to be influenced by that to go off and do that in real life, then I think they have other problems within
In the real world, crazy assholes shoot your fucking friends in the head and in the chest when they're playing their guitar on stage. And that's what happens in the real world. Crazy assholes take the lives of beautiful people. Okay? It's got nothing to do with fucking movies. It's got nothing to do with fucking shit they heard in a record. It's usually stupider shit than that. Like some asshole doesn't like that he's not in a band anymore, listens to another asshole with a big mouth and then blows your fucking friend's brains out. That's how it goes in the real world. It's got nothing to do with our fucking movies, and it sucks. So you try to make some movies to entertain yourself so other people can get away from their average bullshit that they sell out for. That's all it's fucking about. It's a short time. Enjoy the ride, and don't be full of shit.
I think a lot of people would say that since there are crazy assholes and there are people that can't make the right decisions, then do we have to use a ruling that everybody is affected by just for keeping those people in mind? It's the same thing as security at the airport for the assholes that are going to try and blow up the planes, or the same thing as a drug testing policy just to get those few abusers. The majority
But then
of
you're
people...
limiting freedom of speech again, you know, you're like, you know, that if those majority of people, you know, chances are, whether it's movies or something else, they're going to do what they're going to do anyway. Because, you know, you can't, I mean, that's just the way of the world. And if they're going to do that, then they have to pay the consequences. I mean, you can't restrict other people from enjoying, you know, the privilege of being able to see and hear what they want to see, because there's a certain group of idiots that are going to be influenced by that and then go out and commit, you know, crimes or violence.
I
Because
feel the same way about children. Instead of groups of idiots, I still feel like adults shouldn't be kept from being able to enjoy adult fun, whatever that is, just because there's kids that could also enjoy it. You know what I mean? And that goes through with adult content, rated R movies, or anything, you know, that's adults. You're saying there's like a special, like, when there's groups of idiots, you're saying that, you know, the majority of us can handle it. Right. I kind of feel like for kids a lot of times also, the adults are deprived of what adults should be able to have in our adult life. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
Well, as far as like a bunch, let's say you're doing a movie, right? Let's say there's a boob, okay? When Janet Jackson showed her boob, it shut our fucking country down. I mean, it was ridiculous. I go to Europe and I see on the commercials, the 900
it was a saggy boob. The problem was the boob was sagging.
And they don't. It's open there. What I'm saying is, right now, we can't see a boob here because some kid could possibly peek onto the TV. You're gonna
I think that's a little, you know, that's a little over exaggerated, you know. I mean, I tend to agree, especially nowadays, but the bottom line is that, you know, the nudity is something that they do restrict kids from seeing, and on a national television
But
thing
nudity, language,
But in Europe they
violence.
show boobs on TV all the time. So how did Janet Jackson's boob embarrass America and Europe,
I
bro?
tend to agree.
Come on, this RVDTV is off the map. We're all over the place.
You're all over the place, Andrew.
So, save the children. Save the children, RVD. Get back to where were we? Janet Jackson's boobs ruined America's image in Europe. Take two.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that basically nudity is one example, but nudity, language, violence, these are all factors that you as a creator or an artist would have to face when they're trying to tell their story and present their vision to everybody. Then they have to take into factors, well, this might not be allowed or solid because what if these people say, yeah, but it's not, I'm not aiming for them, they're not my target, but they could still get it. It falls, a lot of things fall into that, you know, and I think it plays here as well.
Well, yeah.
This is like Crossfire, but without, like, you know,
It's just a
Hannity and Combs. We need Hannity and Combs, Bill Matthews. We need, Chris Matthews, Hannity and Combs. We need Bill O'Reilly.
You want cereal?
And who else? Everybody else on Fox News too. We need them to debate us on RVDTV.
We're out of time. That's another segment of Friends in High Places.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Andrew Bryniarski.
Thank you, Jesus.
Put Andrew back in his cage now.
Thank you.
Andrew's got to be put back in his cage. Leatherface, thank you.
Falco needs to put back up to the dog leash. David Dog DeFalco.
Dog.
David Junkyard Dog DeFalco, ladies and gentlemen. That's bling bling. Chromium. That's chromium.
All right. I'm sorry I got him going.
Yes. RVDTV out.
Signing out.